All right, lesson number 100. Ooh, this is beautiful. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Wear flowers in my hair. That's a great idea. I have this beautiful bunch of yellow tulips that are sitting in front of me. The iPad is actually leaning against them. Okay, lesson 100. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Just as God's Son completes his Father, so your part in it completes your Father's plan. Salvation must reverse the mad belief in separate thoughts and separate bodies, which lead separate lives and go their separate ways. One function shared by separate minds unites them in one purpose, for each one of them is equally essential to them all. God's will for you is perfect happiness. Why should you choose to go against his will? The part that he has saved for you to take in working out his plan is given that you might be restored to what he wills. This part is as essential to his plan as to your happiness. Your joy must be complete to let his plan be understood by those to whom he sends you. They will see their function in your shining face and hear God's calling to them in your happy laugh. You are indeed essential to God's plan. Without your joy, his world is incomplete. Without your smile, the world cannot be saved. While you are sad, the light that God himself appointed as a means to save the world is dim and lusterless. And no one laughs because all laughter can but echo yours. You are indeed essential to God's plan. Just as your light increases every light that shines in heaven, so your joy on earth calls to all minds to let their sorrows go and take their place beside you in God's plan. God's messengers are joyous, and their joy heals sorrow and despair. They are the proof that God wills perfect happiness for all who will accept their Father's gift as theirs. We will not let ourselves be sad today, for if we do, we fail to take part that is essential to God's plan, as well as to our vision. Sadness is a sign that you would play another part instead of what has been assigned to you by God. Thus do you fail to show the world how great the happiness he wills for you, and so you do not recognize that it is yours. Today we will attempt to understand joy as our function here. If you are sad, your part is unfulfilled, and all the world is thus deprived of joy along with you. God asks you to be happy, so the world can see how much he loves his Son, and wills no sorrow rise to abate his joy. No fear besets him to disturb his peace. You are God's messenger today. You bring his happiness to all you look upon, his peace to everyone who looks on you and sees his message in your happy face. We will prepare ourselves for this today in our 5-minute practice periods by feeling happiness arise in us according to our Father's will and ours. Begin the exercises with the thought today's idea contains. Then realize your part is to be happy. This is only asked of you or anyone who wants to take his place among God's messengers. Think what this means. You have indeed been wrong in your belief that sacrifice is asked. You but receive according to God's plan and never lose or sacrifice or die. Now let us try to find that joy that proves to us and all the world God's will for us. It is your function that you find it here and that you find it now. For this you came. Let this one be the day that you succeed. Look deep within you, undismayed by all the little thoughts and foolish goals you pass as you ascend to meet the Christ in you. He will be there, and you can reach him now. What could you rather look upon in place of him who waits, that you may look on him? What little thought has power to hold you back? What foolish goal can keep you from success when he calls you? When he who calls you is God himself. He will be there, for you are essential to his plan. You are his messenger today, and you must find what he would have you give. Do not forget the idea for today between the hourly practice periods. It is yourself who calls to you today, and it is him you answer every time you tell yourself you are essential to God's plan for salvation of the world. Lesson 100. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. All right. Bring Magdalene through. Greetings, beloveds. God's plan for salvation, God's plan for forgiveness, rests upon the shoulders of truly being happy in the world, truly feeling at peace. When you look for joy, when you look for happiness, you will indeed find it. When you yourself are an emanation of the frequency of God's love, it becomes infectious to all with whom you encounter. They feel the love that is present within you. It then ignites the fire of God's love within them. As one candle lights another, it takes nothing away from the candle that burns, but indeed it increases the light. So allow yourselves today, beloved ones, to come to a place of happiness, to come to a place of love, to truly be the living embodiment of the salvation that God offers to each being, of forgiveness. Understand, beloveds, that there will come a point in your evolution, in your soul's journey, when you will realize that there truly was not a need for forgiveness. The mistakes that you have made yourselves have merely been a perception, a belief in something that has indeed not been real, that has indeed been false, that has indeed been illusionary. And when you come to this realization, there will indeed be a happiness and a joyfulness that is alive inside of you. And then all you will wish to do, brothers and sisters, is to remind others, to bring to others the joy that you yourself feel, the happiness that you yourself feel, the peace and the love. And this is all that you will wish to grant to another. All feelings of bitterness, all feelings of fear, all feelings of sadness, all feelings of the need for something to be different than the way that it is will fall to the wayside. And you will come to realize, beloved ones, that you are as God created you, with your desires and with your longings. And then you will come to see that you are as God created you, and that you are the fulfillment of everything that you truly ever desired. That there is naught that you cannot have, that you cannot be, that you cannot see, and that you cannot experience. And you will find such profound happiness in your momentary existent living that it becomes all that you are. All that your consciousness is love. And in that love live joy and happiness. For your holiness and your divinity become one and become apparent. Think of what it is that you desire, beloveds. You feel that it exists outside of you. You believe that there is something that you want that you are not, that you desire that you cannot have. True happiness, beloved, comes in the mere acceptance that you are everything that you are meant to be. You are as God created you. That happiness is yours to have now. That circumstances need not change. There is nothing that you must attain. Everything that you desire is where you are. Everything that you long for, you already have. And there is such freedom in this recognition, beloveds. There is nothing but joy. And then you turn to your brother and you turn to your sister and you say, here's what I have discovered. I have everything that I want, and I have everything that I need. And what I have been looking for outside me exists within. And I have found true happiness. Would you like to know how? And then you share your love and you share your joy with them. And you find your happiness and you find your forgiveness and you find your salvation. And you realize that the journey that you thought that you have been upon was just a journey to find yourself within. And upon finding yourself within, beloveds, you come to experience happiness and joy and peace, this most profound feeling that you are as God created you, sustained by the love of God, a living embodiment of the Christ life, of the Christ love. You are who you are meant to be. And that is all. That is all that was ever necessary. Bend your will to the will of God, beloveds, and leave behind the shackles of the ego that say that things must be different than the way that they are. For when you are truly able to accept that you, as an aspect of God, have designed and created the very existence, the very journey that you were meant to take, to come back to the truth of light and love, you will see that your greater purpose has been served. And you can live from a place of happiness, knowing that the salvation and the freedom that you desire exists within your heart. And you can let go of anything other than love. For there is one simple truth. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists, and herein lies the peace of God. You are the peace of God, beloved. You are the very thing that God desires. And your part is essential to salvation for all, because each of us, beloveds, are an aspect of the whole. Each of us are an aspect of the one. Each of us, all of us, are indeed that Christed being. And when we were created by God, we were created with one thought, and that was love. And in that love, you truly do find your peace and your happiness. So go within, beloved ones, find your own salvation, and decree that for yourself, only love is real. And you are that love. Our blessings upon you, beloved ones. As you go within your hearts, you find us there waiting for you, loving you, reminding you that you have never truly left. Our hearts are with you always, beloveds, and we will speak with you again. Much love to all of you. See you all tomorrow.